Welcome back to Z Coins. Today, we're talking about a coin that's caught the attention of collectors everywhere. The 2060 mint mark half dollar. And believe it or not, some of these coins have been selling for over $35,000. Yes, you heard that right, $35,600 to be exact. So what makes this seemingly modern coin worth so much? Is it rare? Is it special? Or does it have some hidden features that most people overlook? Stay tuned, because we're going to break down the history, value, and everything you need to know about this coin. Let's start with the background of the 2060 half dollar. The 2060 is a Kennedy half dollar, part of a series that has been in circulation since 1964. The Kennedy half dollar was introduced as a memorial to the assassination of President John F. Kennedy, a moment that profoundly affected the nation. Now, the D mint mark signifies that this coin was struck at the Denver Mint. In 2006, the Denver Mint produced a large number of Kennedy half dollars. Most of these were meant for general circulation, but, interestingly, by the mid-2000s, half dollars were being produced more for collectors than for actual use in everyday commerce. This is key to understanding why some of these coins are now worth a fortune. Though half dollars aren't commonly used in day-to-day transactions anymore, they remain a favorite among collectors. The 2060, while not especially rare in circulation, has some unique factors that can significantly increase its value, which we'll discuss in just a moment. Not all coins are created equal. Some coins leave the mint in pristine condition, with almost no imperfections, and these are the ones that fetch the big bucks. Coins that are in mint state, MS, meaning they are uncirculated and have been perfectly preserved, are especially valuable. One of the reasons the 2060 half dollar has hit such high prices is due to the grade of the coin. Collectors use a system called the Sheldon scale, which ranks coins from 1 to 70. A perfect, or near-perfect coin, graded MS69 or MS70, is extremely rare and highly sought after. Even though millions of 2060 half dollars were minted, only a very small number of them are in near-perfect or perfect condition. In fact, the population of coins graded at MS69 or MS70 is incredibly low. This rarity drives up the value significantly. When fewer coins exist in high grades, collectors are willing to pay a premium. One of these MS69 2060 half dollars sold for a staggering $35,600 at auction. So, if you happen to have a pristine 2060 half dollars sitting around, it might be time to get it graded. The Kennedy half dollar is iconic in the world of numismatics. Collectors are always on the lookout for rare or near-perfect examples to complete their sets. Since the Denver Mint's production of the 2006 Kennedy half dollar was primarily aimed at collectors rather than circulation, high-quality coins are in demand. The combination of historical significance, rarity in top grades, and strong demand from collectors creates the perfect recipe for a high-value coin. Let's talk a little more about coin grading, because it plays such a huge role in determining a coin's value. When we say a 2060 half dollar is worth $35,600, we're talking about a coin in near-perfect condition, graded at MS69 or MS70. But how do you know if your coin is worth sending off to be graded? This is what's called mint state. The coin is uncirculated, but might show some minor imperfections under magnification. Coins in this grade range are usually worth between $10 and $50. These coins have better preservation and fewer marks. They can be valued in the range of $100 to $500, depending on the specific coin. This is where the real money is. MS69 coins have only the tiniest imperfections that are barely visible under magnification. A perfect MS70 coin has no visible flaws at all. For the 2060 half dollar, an MS69 could fetch you thousands, while an MS-70 is incredibly rare and worth even more. Getting your coin professionally graded by a company like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, can help you determine its exact value. If you're lucky enough to have a 2060 half dollar in perfect condition, you could be sitting on a small fortune. While an MS-69 example has sold for $35,600, it's important to remember that values can fluctuate depending on demand, the current market, and the availability of high-grade coins. In average circulated condition, a 2060 half dollar might only be worth face value, about 50 cents. But if it's in uncirculated condition, the price goes up dramatically, ranging from $3 to $10 depending on the grade. However, the real value lies in those MS-69 and MS-70 graded coins, which are the true gems. Keep in mind, these high-grade coins are extremely rare, and their value can continue to increase over time as they become harder to find in perfect condition. If you've been collecting half dollars, check your stash. Look specifically for 2060 mint marks, and if the coin looks pristine, it might be worth getting graded. Local coin shops or online platforms like eBay and Heritage Auctions often have 2060 half dollars for sale. Keep an eye out for listings that specify high grades, and always verify the seller's reputation before making a purchase. Attending coin shows or auctions is another great way to find high-quality coins. Auctions often feature coins that have already been graded by reputable companies like PCGS or NGC, giving you confidence in the coin's value. So, there you have it, folks. The 2060 half dollar might seem like an ordinary coin, but in pristine condition, it can be worth an astonishing $35,600 or more. Whether you're an avid collector or someone who's stumbled across this coin by accident, now you know just how valuable it can be. We're diving into something truly exciting, the 2021 P Mint Mark half dollar coin, which has become a hot topic among collectors. Now, get ready, because some of these coins are going for big bucks. We're talking a whopping $25,600. So let's break it down. The history, the value, and why these coins are skyrocketing in the market. Stick around to the end, because if you have one of these in your pocket or collection, it might just change your life. Let's start with the history behind the 2021 P Mint Mark half dollar. The 2021 half dollar is part of the long-running Kennedy half dollar series, which began in 1964, shortly after the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. The Kennedy half dollar has remained a staple of U.S. currency, though it's not commonly seen in circulation these days. The P Mint mark on this coin signifies that it was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, one of the 4 active U.S. mint locations today. But what makes the 2021 coin stand out? Well, after decades of limited circulation, the Kennedy half dollar is primarily produced in smaller quantities, usually for collectors rather than widespread public use. This is where the value starts to come into play. The 2021 half dollar was minted in significantly lower numbers compared to other years, making it a more sought-after piece. Add to that a few unique conditions in some of the coins, and you've got yourself a recipe for an incredibly valuable coin. So, what does the 2021 P half dollar look like? Let's take a closer look. On the obverse, or front of the coin, we have the familiar portrait of President Kennedy, designed by sculptor Gilroy Roberts. You'll see the inscription, Liberty, above, "In God We Trust," to the left, and the date, 2021, below. Now flip it over to the reverse, and here you have the presidential seal, surrounded by stars, with the inscription, United States of America, and half dollar. The P Mint mark is located just under Kennedy's neck, indicating it was minted in Philadelphia. It's a stunning design, and even though these coins aren't used in everyday transactions as much anymore, they've become prized collector's items because of this artistry and historic significance. Okay, so why is this coin worth a mind-boggling $25,600? There are a few factors that make this possible, and if you have one of these coins, you'll want to listen carefully. Firstly, rarity. Even though the U.S. Mint still produces the Kennedy half dollar, the number minted has decreased dramatically. For 2021, the Philadelphia Mint only produced a little over 3 million Kennedy half dollars. That may sound like a lot, but for coin collectors, that's considered a low mintage number, making this coin more valuable over time. Now, here's where things get really interesting. It's all about condition. Coins graded in high mint state conditions are worth significantly more. And by mint state, I mean coins that are essentially in perfect, untouched condition, straight from the mint. The higher the grade, the higher the value. Some 2021 P half dollar coins that are graded MS70 by organizations like PCGS or NGC, which is the perfect grade, have fetched prices of up to $25,600 at auctions. That's right, just a single coin. Collectors are willing to pay top dollar for these high-grade coins because they're incredibly rare to find in such pristine condition. Plus, with the lower mintage numbers, there just aren't that many out there. If you're someone who's just getting into coin collecting or you're thinking about it as an investment, the 2021 P Mint Mark half dollar is a great coin to consider. Here's why. As part of the Kennedy half dollar series, it carries historical significance that many collectors love. As we mentioned earlier, with only a few million minted, the rarity will continue to make it more desirable. If you have a mint state coin, especially one graded MS70, you've hit the jackpot. So, always keep your eyes peeled for coins that are in excellent condition. Even small imperfections can drastically affect the value. If you already own one of these coins and it's in mint condition, it's time to consider getting it graded by a professional service. This could be the difference between selling it for a couple of bucks versus thousands of dollars. These companies provide official grading and authentication, and once your coin is graded, it's much easier to sell to collectors at a high price. But remember, grading services can be a bit costly, so it's only worth doing if you believe the coin is in top-tier condition. Now, let's talk about the current market value. As of today, high-grade 2021 P Mint Mark half dollars have been sold for between $1,500 and $25,600 depending on their grade, condition, and where they're sold. Coins graded in the MS66 or MS67 range are also fetching impressive prices, sometimes hundreds or even thousands of dollars. But if you've got an MS70, that's where the real money is. Online auction sites like eBay and Heritage Auctions are hot spots for these sales. The demand for these coins has surged in recent months, especially with the popularity of coin collecting growing during the pandemic. It's a great time to sell if you're looking to cash in, but it's also an opportunity for long-term collectors to hold onto these valuable pieces and watch their worth increase. So, there you have it. The 2021 P Mint Mark half dollar is not just another coin. With its historical value, low mintage, and potential for high-grade condition, it's truly a gem for collectors. And who would have thought that a simple half dollar could be worth $25,600? We're diving deep into the fascinating world of the 1994 D Mint Mark half dollar, a coin that has recently made headlines by being worth a whopping $45,600 at auction. Yes, you heard that right. A coin you might have in your pocket could be worth a small fortune. But how did it get to this value? What's the history behind it? And more importantly, how can you tell if your 1994 D Mint Mark half dollar is worth this kind of money? Let's break it all down. Before we get into the 1994 D Mint Mark specifically, let's take a quick look at the history of the half dollar coin in the U.S. The half dollar has been a staple of U.S. currency since 1794, with designs evolving over the years, from the flowing hair and cap bust to the iconic Kennedy half dollar, which started in 1964 after the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. The Kennedy half dollar was minted as a tribute and quickly became one of the most recognizable U.S. coins. While its original design was made from 90% silver, by 1971, the U.S. Mint transitioned to a copper-nickel composition to cut costs. But despite the reduction in intrinsic value, some half dollars, like the 1994 D Mint mark, still carry significant worth, and in some cases, astronomical auction prices. Now, let's fast forward to 1994. That year, the U.S. Mint produced Kennedy half dollars in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, but today, we're focusing on the Denver Mint, indicated by the D Mint mark. The 1994 D Kennedy half dollar was produced in large quantities, so on the surface, it might seem like a very common coin. But here's where things get interesting. Though over 23 million of these coins were minted, not all of them were created equally. Most circulated coins won't be worth more than their face value of 50 cents. However, a select few 1994 D Mint mark half dollars, especially those in pristine, uncirculated condition, can be worth significantly more. So why are some of these coins worth more than others? It all boils down to a few key factors: condition, rarity, and errors. Condition is critical. The highest value coins are typically in mint state, meaning they haven't been circulated and show no signs of wear. Collectors often look for coins that have been graded by professional services like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation. A coin graded as MS67, for example, is considered near perfect, and this drastically increases its value. Now, the real showstopper is when there are errors or varieties. Minting errors, such as misstrikes, off-center designs, or die cracks, can make a coin incredibly valuable. One such error found in a handful of 1994 D Mint mark half dollars is a double die variety. In these cases, certain design elements, like Kennedy's portrait or the text, appear double due to a production mishap. Now, on to the big question: why did one of these coins sell for $45,600? In 2021, a 1994 D Kennedy half dollar graded as MS67 Plus by PCGS set the record for the highest price ever paid for this coin. But what made this particular coin so special? Several factors contributed to its astronomical value. First, it was in nearly flawless condition. MS67 Plus is an extremely high grade, meaning the coin was preserved in pristine condition for decades. On top of that, it had an incredibly sharp strike, strong luster, and eye-catching appeal, making it stand out among others. The rarity of this particular grade also played a huge role. With only a handful of 1994 D half dollars ever graded that high, the competition among collectors drove the price up to $45,600 at auction. Keep in mind that if your 1994 D coin isn't in such top condition, it won't fetch quite that much, but it could still be worth hundreds or even thousands depending on the grade. Alright, now that you know the potential value, how do you figure out if your 1994 D Mint mark half dollar is worth big bucks? First, take a close look at the coin's condition. Is it shiny and free of scratches or discoloration? If so, it might be worth getting professionally graded. You'll also want to check for any signs of doubling or minting errors. If you suspect you have a rare variety, it's definitely worth sending it to PCGS or NGC for authentication. And if you're serious about collecting or selling coins, investing in a quality magnifying glass or digital microscope can help you spot these details with precision. Trust me, it could be worth it. Oh, what about the current market value? Well, most 1994 D Mint mark half dollars in circulated condition are worth around $1 to $2. However, higher grades, like MS65 or MS66, can go for hundreds of dollars. At the very top of the spectrum, coins graded MS-67 or higher can sell for thousands. And as we mentioned earlier, that record-breaking $45,600 coin was an MS-67 Plus, making it a true gem for collectors. Prices can fluctuate based on market demand, but right now, collectors are willing to pay a premium for top-quality 1994 D half dollars. In conclusion, the 1994 D Mint Mark half dollar is a fascinating coin with a lot of potential value. While most are common, those in mint condition or with rare errors can fetch significant prices at auction. If you have a 1994 D Kennedy half dollar, take a closer look. You might just have a treasure on your hands. Remember, if you're ever unsure about the value of your coin, it's always a good idea to have it professionally appraised or graded. Who knows, maybe you'll be the next one to sell a 1994 D half dollar for tens of thousands of dollars. We're diving deep into the fascinating world of coin collecting, specifically the 1985 D Mint Mark half dollar. You may have heard that these coins can be worth a lot of money, with some going for as much as $55,600 in the current market. But why? What makes these coins so valuable, and what should you be looking for in your own collection? Stick around to find out. Let's start with a little background. The 1985 D Kennedy half dollar is part of the Kennedy half dollar series, which was first minted in 1964. These coins were introduced shortly after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy in 1963, and they became an immediate symbol of national remembrance. The obverse, or front, of the coin features a portrait of JFK, while the reverse shows the presidential seal, a bald eagle with a shield on its chest, holding an olive branch and arrows in its talons. In 1985, the coin was struck at the Denver Mint, which is signified by the small D Mint mark just below Kennedy's neck on the coin. Millions of these half dollars were produced for general circulation, and most of them are still only worth their face value today, which is 50 cents. But here's where things get interesting. Certain versions of this coin can be worth a fortune. In fact, one was recently sold for an eye-popping $55,600 at auction. So what sets these apart from the rest? That's exactly what we're going to break down next. There are a few key factors that can drive the value of a 1985 D half dollar up into the tens of thousands of dollars. Let's walk through them. The most important factor is the coin's condition. A coin's grade is determined by its level of preservation, which is usually ranked on a scale from 1 to 70, known as the Sheldon grading scale. A coin graded 70 is considered perfect, meaning it has no visible marks, scratches, or imperfections even under magnification. The vast majority of 1985 D half dollars are in circulated condition, meaning they've been used in everyday transactions. These coins tend to have wear and tear, which lowers their value. However, if you happen to have an uncirculated or mint state 1985 D half dollar, especially one with a grade of MS-67 or higher, you're in the money. That $55,600 price tag I mentioned earlier, that was for an MS-67 Plus graded coin, which is an incredibly high grade for this particular year in mint. Another key factor is rarity. It's not just about how many 1985 D half dollars were produced, but how many of them exist in such pristine condition today. According to population reports from coin grading agencies like PCGS and NGC, only a small number of 1985 D half dollars have been graded MS-67 or higher. This makes them incredibly rare, and rare coins are always more valuable. With fewer high-grade coins available, collectors are willing to pay top dollar to get their hands on one. Lastly, error coins or special variants can also be worth a premium. While the 1985 D half dollar doesn't have any well-known error varieties like some other coins, always keep an eye out for things like double die errors, where the design is accidentally stamped twice, or planchet errors, where the coin is struck on an improperly prepared metal blank. So, let's talk about the current market value. As of now, high-grade 1985D half dollars are selling for a range of prices depending on their condition. For most people, if you find a regular 1985D half dollar in average circulated condition, it's likely worth no more than 50 cents to a couple of dollars at most. But if your coin is in exceptional condition, you could be looking at hundreds or even thousands of dollars. For instance, MS-65 graded coins can sell for around $100 to $300, while MS-67 coins can jump up to $2,000 to $3,000. And then, of course, we have those ultra-rare MS-67 Plus coins, which can fetch the jaw-dropping $55,600 price at auction. Prices like this happen when a few serious collectors are bidding against each other for a coin that's nearly impossible to find. Now you might be wondering, how can I check if my 1985D half dollar is worth anything? Here are a few quick steps. Look for the D mint mark under Kennedy's neck. No mint mark? Then it's from the Philadelphia Mint and probably less valuable. Does your coin look worn or scratched? If so, it's probably in circulated condition and not worth much. But if it looks nearly perfect, it might be worth getting graded. If you think you've got a high-grade coin, send it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They can authenticate and assign a grade, which will give you a better idea of the coin's value. So there you have it. The 1985D Kennedy half dollar is a coin that can be worth anywhere from 50 cents to tens of thousands of dollars, depending on its condition and rarity. If you've got a few of these lying around, it might be worth checking their condition and maybe even getting them graded. We're diving deep into the 1982D Mint Mark half dollar coin, a piece that has become a true gem for collectors and could be worth, wait for it, up to $60,600. That's right. A 1982 Denver minted half dollar, also known as the Kennedy half dollar, is one of those coins that has recently captured the attention of numismatists, investors, and history buffs alike. In this video, we're going to break down the history of the 1982D Kennedy half dollar, what makes it so special, its historical value, and why it's recently gained traction in the coin market with such jaw-dropping prices. By the end of this video, you'll know everything you need to about the 1982D half dollar, including how to determine if your coin is worth thousands of dollars. So let's get into it. First, let's go back to when the Kennedy half dollar series began. The Kennedy half dollar was introduced in 1964, just a few months after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy in November 1963. It was intended as a tribute to honor the beloved president. The first year, these coins were struck in 90% silver, making them highly sought after. But as the U.S. Mint reduced the silver content in its coins due to rising silver prices, the Kennedy half dollars minted after 1970 no longer contained any silver. From 1971 onwards, the coins were struck in a copper-nickel-clad composition. Fast forward to 1982, the year we're focused on today. By 1982, the Kennedy half dollar had been in circulation for nearly 2 decades. But here's where it gets interesting. That year, the Denver Mint struck millions of these coins, 10.7 million to be exact. So you might be thinking, why is this coin so valuable today? The key lies in the condition and rarity of high-grade examples. While millions were produced, most of these coins entered circulation and were heavily used. Finding a 1982D half dollar in pristine condition, especially in what's known as mint state or MS condition, is extremely rare. And in the world of coin collecting, condition is everything. Coin grading is an essential factor in determining the value of any coin. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. A mint state MS coin means that the coin is in the same condition as it was when it left the mint, uncirculated, with no wear. Grades range from MS-60 all the way to a perfect MS-70. And it's those upper mint state grades that can push the value of a coin through the roof. So, if you've got a 1982 D half dollar in your collection, and it's graded MS-65 or higher, you're looking at a coin that could be worth thousands of dollars, up to $60,600 in some cases. In fact, in recent years, several 1982 D half dollars have fetched unbelievable prices at auctions. In August 2022, a 1982 D Kennedy half dollar graded MS-67 sold for a staggering $60,600 at auction. That's a massive leap from its face value of just 50 cents. This kind of sale is an outlier, but even coins in slightly lower grades, such as MS-66, can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The key takeaway here is that condition, rarity, and demand are what drive the market value. So how can you tell if you've got a valuable 1982 D Kennedy half dollar on your hands? First, check for the mint mark. If there's a D just to the right of Kennedy's portrait, you've got the Denver minted coin. But that's just the beginning. Next, assess the condition. Is your coin free from scratches, nicks, or other signs of wear? If it looks like it's in near perfect condition, it might be worth getting it professionally graded by companies like PCGS or NGC. These grading companies will authenticate your coin and give it a grade, which can dramatically increase its value. The coin market is always fluctuating, but there's no denying that certain coins, like the 1982 D half dollar, have seen a steady rise in value, especially as high-quality examples become scarcer. As more collectors hunt for rare, well-preserved coins, prices continue to rise. As of today, the market value for a 1982 D Kennedy half dollar in MS-67 is still hovering around $50,000 to $60,000, while lower mint state grades, like MS-65, are valued between $300 and $500. So even if your coin isn't a top-tier MS-67, it could still be worth a nice chunk of change. So there you have it, folks. The 1982 D Kennedy half dollar, a coin that's not only rich in history, but could also be a jackpot if it's in the right condition. If you've got one of these in your collection, it might be worth giving it a second look. And if you don't, who knows? Maybe it's time to start hunting for one. We're diving into the exciting history and potential value of the 1977 D Kennedy half dollar, and, more importantly, why one of these coins sold for a jaw-dropping $66,600. Stick around until the end to learn what makes this coin worth so much money, and how you can potentially spot a valuable one in your collection. Was first minted in 1964, shortly after the assassination of President John F. Kennedy, as a way to honor his legacy. It was designed by Gilroy Roberts for the obverse, front, side, and Frank Casparo for the reverse, back, side. Fast forward to 1977, the U.S. Mint was still producing Kennedy half dollars, but there were a few key differences compared to earlier years. By 1971, the U.S. Mint had stopped using silver in circulating half dollars. So, the 1977 D coin is made from a copper nickel clad, unlike the earlier 90% silver coins. This change happened because silver prices were rising, making it impractical to continue minting silver coins for general circulation. The D Mint mark signifies that this specific coin was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the primary mints in the U.S. Alongside Denver, the Philadelphia and San Francisco mints also produced Kennedy half dollars during this time, but each mint has unique characteristics and sometimes differences in quality. Now, let's talk about the numbers. The 1977 D Kennedy half dollar had a large mintage. Over 31 million coins were produced at the Denver Mint alone. Because of this high mintage, Most 1977 half dollars are considered common and circulate widely. They were used primarily in casinos, banks, and even vending machines back in the day. As a result, many of these coins show signs of wear and tear, which significantly impacts their value today. So, why are most 1977 half dollars considered common, while others can sell for tens of thousands of dollars? The key factor here is condition and rarity. If you find a 1977 Kennedy half dollar that has been in circulation, it's likely to be worth only its face value, 50 cents, or a bit more, say between $1 to $5, depending on the condition. Coins that have not been used in everyday transactions, also known as mint state coins, hold higher value. For a 1977 in MS60 to MS65 condition, you could be looking at a value ranging from $10 to $30. But things start to get more interesting when you reach MS67 or higher. For serious collectors, coin grading is the gold standard. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with MS70 being a perfect coin. A 1977 Kennedy half dollar graded MS67 or MS68 by PCGS or NGC, the top grading companies, can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Now, here's the big question. Why did one of these coins sell for an incredible $66,600 in August 2019? A 1977 Kennedy half dollar in MS67 plus grade was sold by Heritage Auctions for $66,600. The MS67 Plus grade is extremely rare for this coin, and this particular coin was graded by PCGS, one of the most trusted grading companies in the world. This coin had an exceptional strike, meaning it was produced with incredible sharpness and detail at the mint. It also had flawless surfaces, with no visible marks or scratches, making it one of the highest graded examples in existence. The coin had a dazzling luster, which is a key characteristic collectors look for in high-grade coins. Only a few coins from the 1977 batch have ever been graded MS67 plus, and no known examples have been graded higher. This makes it a rare find in the numismatic world. High-grade Kennedy half dollars have a dedicated following among collectors, and rare examples in top condition can fetch extraordinary prices. When supply is limited and demand is high, prices can skyrocket, and that's exactly what happened here. Now that you know the history and value potential of the 1977 half dollar, you might be wondering, what's the current market like? In today's market, most circulated 1977 half dollars won't bring in much money. They typically sell for 50 cents to $1, depending on condition. However, if you have an uncirculated or high-grade coin, it could be worth a lot more. Coins graded MS66 or MS67 can sell for $100 to $500. And as we saw, if you hit the jackpot with an MS67 Plus, you could be looking at thousands of dollars. Look for coins that are shiny and free from scratches, marks, or blemishes. The better the condition, the higher the value. High-grade coins will have a strong, attractive shine. If your coin has retained its original mint luster, it could be worth sending for grading. The details on Kennedy's portrait and the eagle on the reverse should be clear and well-defined. If you think you have a coin in exceptional condition, consider sending it to PCGS or NGC for professional grading. A certified grade can significantly increase the value of your coin. So, there you have it. The 1977 Kennedy half dollar might not be the rarest coin at first glance, but under the right conditions, it could be worth a lot of money. If you're lucky enough to have one in high grade, you could be looking at hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars, maybe even $66,600 like that one rare coin. We're diving into the fascinating world of the 1974 no-mint mark half-dollar coin. This is no ordinary coin. In fact, one in particular recently sold for an astonishing $85,600. Face screaming in fear, that's right. a half-dollar coin worth almost $86,000. But what makes it so valuable? Stick around to learn the incredible history, the key features, and how much these coins are worth today. First, let's take a quick trip back to 1974. This was a fascinating time for coin collectors, especially when it comes to the Kennedy half-dollar. The Kennedy half-dollar was first introduced in 1964, right after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy. It quickly became one of the most iconic coins in American currency, with the first ones being struck in 90% silver. But by 1974, things were a little different. The coin was no longer made from silver, but instead from a copper-nickel-clad composition. The design on the coin features President Kennedy on the obverse, or heads, side, and the presidential seal on the reverse, or tails. And like many coins, it was minted in different locations across the U.S., including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Now, if you've been coin collecting for a while, you probably know that most coins bear a mint mark, a small letter indicating which U.S. mint facility produced the coin. For example, D represents Denver, S is for San Francisco, and if there's no mint mark, it usually means the coin was minted in Philadelphia. In 1974, the majority of Kennedy half-dollars produced at the Philadelphia Mint didn't have any mint mark at all, which was typical. So, if you find a 1974 half-dollar without a mint mark, it's not necessarily rare. But here's the kicker. There's a specific type of error with this coin that has collectors going wild, and that's where the incredible value comes into play. Now, let's talk about what really sets certain 1974 half-dollars apart. The most valuable versions of this coin have what's known as a double die error, specifically on the 1974 D Kennedy half-dollar. A double die error occurs when the coin's design is struck twice by the die, but in slightly different positions. This creates a noticeable doubling effect on the letters and numbers, most commonly seen in inscriptions like "In God We Trust" or "Liberty." In the case of the 1974 D, this doubling can be quite pronounced. The fascinating thing is that these errors weren't caught immediately, and some of these coins slipped into circulation. If you're lucky enough to find a 1974 D Kennedy half-dollar with this error, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Even lower-grade examples can fetch hundreds of dollars, but the most pristine ones, known as MS-67 or MS-68, can sell for thousands. So what makes one of these coins worth over $85,600? In August 2019, a near-perfect example of a 1974 D double-die Kennedy half-dollar sold at auction for this incredible price. The coin was graded MS-67 by PCGS, one of the top coin grading companies in the world. Only a handful of these coins have been graded this high, making it extremely rare. Condition is everything when it comes to coin collecting, and the cleaner and more flawless the coin, the more it's worth. This particular coin's sharp doubling and near-perfect condition drove its value through the roof. So how can you tell if you have one of these valuable coins? First, you'll want to carefully examine your 1974 half-dollar, specifically looking at the date and the inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." If you see any signs of doubling, especially on a 1974 D coin, you could have something special. It's also important to consider the condition of your coin. Collectors use the Sheldon grading scale, which ranges from 1 to 70. Coins graded MS, mint state, are in uncirculated condition, and the higher the number, the more valuable the coin. If you think you have a double die half-dollar, consider sending it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC to get it officially authenticated and graded. So, what's the market value of a 1974 no mint mark or 1974 D Kennedy half-dollar today? For a standard 1974 half-dollar without any errors, you're typically looking at around 50 cents to a couple of dollars, depending on its condition. However, for those 1974D double die errors, it's a whole different story. Lower grade examples can sell for $100 to $500, while higher grade coins, like MS64 or MS65, could fetch anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000. And, as we mentioned earlier, those rare MS67 examples can sell for tens of thousands of dollars. If you're eager to get your hands on one of these valuable coins, there are a few places to start looking. Check your own coin collection or search through half-dollar rolls from banks. You never know what you might find. You can also try coin shops, estate sales, or online auction sites like eBay and Heritage Auctions. And remember, while it's exciting to find potential treasures, make sure to have your coins professionally evaluated before jumping to conclusions about their value. Well, there you have it. The 1974 No Mint Mark and 1974D Double Die Kennedy half dollars are some of the most intriguing coins out there, with some examples selling for over $1.85, $600. So, if you've got any 1974 half dollars lying around, now's the time to check them carefully. We're diving into the world of rare and valuable coins, and specifically, one special coin that's making waves in the collector's market, the 1972 No Mint Mark half dollar. It's hard to believe, but this simple coin could be worth up to $80,600. That's right, a small piece of currency worth more than some cars. But why is this coin so valuable? What's its history? And how do you know if you have one? Well, stick around, because I'm going to break it all down for you. From the fascinating backstory to the current market value. To understand why the 1972 No Mint Mark half dollar is so valuable, we first need to take a step back into the history of this coin. The half dollar is part of the Kennedy half dollar series, first introduced in 1964, just a year after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy. The coin was minted as a tribute to the beloved president and has been in circulation ever since. The 1972 half dollar was part of a regular minting year. Like most coins, it was minted in three primary locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins minted in Denver have a D mint mark, and those from San Francisco carry an S. But here's where things get interesting. The coins minted in Philadelphia don't carry any mint mark at all. Usually, Philadelphia minted coins are common and aren't considered rare, but there's something special about the 1972 edition. Now, you might be wondering, what's so special about a coin with no mint mark? Isn't that normal for coins from Philadelphia? Well, in this case, no. The 1972 No Mint Mark half dollar became famous because of a rare minting error. During the minting process, something went wrong with a few batches of coins. Instead of following the proper specifications, some coins didn't receive the intended mint mark, or they had other flaws in their production. This mistake has made the 1972 No Mint Mark half dollar an incredible rarity for collectors. It's important to note that this error wasn't caught immediately, which means many of these coins made their way into circulation. Some lucky people might still have one lying around, hiding in a coin jar or an old drawer. Any minting error is rare, and when it's on a coin like the Kennedy half dollar, already beloved by collectors, the rarity skyrockets. There are only a handful of 1972 No Mint Mark half dollar coins known to exist, which makes them extremely valuable. Like most collectible coins, the condition of the 1972 No Mint Mark half dollar plays a big role in its value. If you have one of these coins, but it's scratched, worn, or damaged, it won't fetch the same price. However, coins in pristine, uncirculated condition can be worth a small fortune. Coin grading services like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, can help verify the coin's quality. A grade of MS67 or MS68 is often where the big money is. Coins with unique stories or historical significance are always in high demand. The 1972 no-mint mark half dollar has a fascinating history and an era that sets it apart, making it a must-have for collectors. As demand grows, so does the price. Now, let's talk about the jaw-dropping figure, $80,600. That's right, a 1972 no-mint mark half dollar coin recently sold at auction for an incredible $80,600. The coin was in near-perfect condition, graded as MS-68, and collectors jumped at the opportunity to own such a rare piece of American history. But here's the kicker. Not every 1972 no-mint mark half dollar is going to be worth that much. The condition and rarity of the specific era make all the difference. However, even lower-graded coins can still sell for impressive sums, ranging anywhere from a few $100s to several thousand. Now, here's the exciting part. You could be sitting on one of these valuable coins without even knowing it. But how do you check if you have a 1972 no-mint mark half dollar? First, make sure the coin is from 1972. The date should be clearly visible on the coin's front side, just under President Kennedy's profile. Next, check under Kennedy's neck, where the mint mark should appear. If there's no mint mark, you might have a Philadelphia coin, but that doesn't automatically mean it's the rare one we're talking about. The key is to look for the specific error. Sometimes these coins have slight variations in the strike, lettering, or design that make them unique. If you think you have one, it's worth getting the coin authenticated by a professional. To truly know what your coin is worth, it's essential to get it graded by a reputable coin grading service. This will give you a better idea of the condition and potential value. As we mentioned, the record-breaking sale hit $80,600, but prices can vary depending on the condition and demand at any given time. Coins graded MS-65 or lower might fetch anywhere from $100 to $1,000, while those in top condition can bring in several $1,000s. Right now, collectors and dealers are always on the lookout for well-preserved examples of this rare coin, so if you have one, it's definitely worth investigating its value. So, there you have it. The 1972 no-mint mark half dollar is not just a piece of history, but potentially a hidden fortune. Whether you're a coin collector or just curious about that old half dollar you found, now you know what makes this coin so special and valuable. Imagine finding one of these rare coins and knowing it could be worth up to $80,600. We're diving into the world of rare and valuable coins, and let me tell you, if you've got a 1972 mint mark half dollar sitting around in your collection, you could be in for a huge surprise. Why, you ask? Because one of these coins recently sold for an incredible $75,600. That's right, a simple half dollar turned into a small fortune. But how can a coin that's nearly 50 years old be worth so much today? What makes the 1972 half dollar so special? Stick around, because in today's video, we'll break down everything you need to know: the history, the key features, and why collectors are going crazy over this coin. Let's get started. Before we dive into what makes the 1972 half dollar so valuable, let's take a quick trip back in time and look at the history behind this coin. The 1972 half dollar is part of the Kennedy half dollar series, which was first minted in 1964 to honor President John F. Kennedy after his tragic assassination. This coin became an iconic piece of American currency, symbolizing not only Kennedy's legacy but also a significant moment in U.S. history. Now, in 1972, the U.S. Mint struck these coins at several locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The D Mint mark represents the coins produced at the Denver Mint. In total, over 141 million half dollars were minted that year at the Denver facility. So, how does a coin with such a large mintage become so valuable? Well, the most important factor here is the coin's condition, rarity, and any potential errors that might have occurred during its minting. Let's break it down. Like all collectible coins, the value of a 1972 half dollar skyrockets when it's in exceptional condition. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70 by services like the Professional Coin Grading Service (PCGS). The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. A coin that is graded as MS, mint state, 65 or higher can be worth thousands, and one in pristine condition, like the 1972 half dollar that sold for $75,600, was graded MS 67. That's nearly a perfect coin. The reason these coins are worth so much is that very few of them survived in such high grades after being in circulation for years. Now, while there were millions of these coins made, finding one in mint condition is extremely rare. Most half dollars were circulated heavily, meaning they've accumulated wear and tear over the decades. So, even though the 1972 half dollar isn't rare in terms of mintage, the rarity comes from finding one in excellent, untouched condition, and that's what drives up the price. Another reason the value can skyrocket is if there are any minting errors on the coin. Error coins are highly sought after by collectors. Examples include double die obverse errors, off-center strikes, or missing mint marks. Even the smallest error can add thousands of dollars to the coin's value. But it's not just the errors. Small details like the sharpness of the strike, the luster of the coin, and the lack of any scratches or imperfections all play a huge role in determining the worth of these coins. So, let's talk about the famous sale that has everyone buzzing. In 2022, a 1972 Kennedy half dollar sold for a jaw-dropping $75,600 at auction. That's more than some people's entire yearly salary. What made this specific coin so valuable? It all came down to its perfect condition. The coin was graded MS 67 by PCGS, which is one of the highest grades ever awarded to a 1972 half dollar. On top of that, the coin displayed incredible luster, with a nearly flawless surface, sharp details, and virtually no marks. Coins like these are so rare because it's almost impossible to find a 50-year-old coin in such pristine condition. This was truly a once-in-a-lifetime find. Now, I bet you're wondering, could I have one of these valuable coins? Well, here's how you can check. First, make sure your coin has the D mint mark, located just below Kennedy's portrait on the right-hand side. This tells you the coin was minted in Denver. Next, closely inspect your coin's condition. Are there any noticeable scratches, blemishes, or signs of wear? If your coin is in near-perfect condition with sharp details and a clean surface, you might be holding something special. If you think you've got a gem, you'll want to send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC to get an official grade. Keep in mind, coins graded MS 65 and higher are where you start seeing serious value increases. Don't forget to inspect your coin for any potential minting errors, like double dies or off-center strikes. These errors can significantly boost the value of your coin. So, what's the current market value of the 1972 half dollar? Well, it really depends on the condition of your coin. In average circulated condition, these coins typically sell for around 50 cents to a few dollars. However, if you've got one in mint state, MS, condition, especially graded MS 65 or higher, the value can jump to hundreds or even thousands of dollars. But remember, for the absolute top tier, like the MS 67 coin that sold for $75,600, you're talking about extremely rare circumstances. Only a handful of these coins exist in such flawless condition. If you're lucky enough to own one, you could be sitting on a gold mine. And there you have it, the incredible story of the 1972 mint mark Kennedy half dollar. From its historical significance to its staggering market value, this coin is definitely one to keep an eye on. So, go check your collections, hunt through those old coin jars, and who knows, you might just discover a fortune in your hands. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notifications so you never miss an update on valuable coins that could be hiding right in your home. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on the channel.